Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today we're bringing you the best Kickstarters of the year. We do a whole set of these wrap up the season videos where we just go through our biggest disappointments.
Yep. Some of our favorite moments.
Games we're definitely going to get to the table.
And games we're definitely not getting to the table.
And now we're looking towards the future a little bit because all of these are Kickstarter projects that launched this last year, and for varying reasons, we've decided
these are the most important ones to us. The most exciting things for us.
Which doesn't mean that they are the best games that came out.
Definitely not.
Some of mine certainly are some of the best games that came out.
Yep. Some of mine are very important games to me.
By the nature of us being a YouTube channel who happens to cover a lot of Kickstarters, a lot of Kickstarter previews, we have absolutely worked with quite a few of the publishers.
Very fair.
In this list. So keep that in mind as we chat about these games. And on top of that, all of mine are things that I've been able to actually interact with and play. I am sure there are other amazing games, titles out there that I should have on this list, but because I get the chance to interact with them...
All of mine are too. I was just making sure.
Pay attention to them in a bit of a different way. I mean, you weren't here until October full-time.
Yeah, full-time. That's very true. I mean, I have been here since last year, but not in the capacity that I am right now.
Where you get to interact with basically every prototype that comes through the door, if you want to.
If I want to.
Yeah, except a few that
when you won't let me.
Specifically not.
Well, you won't let me interact with them because you also don't want me to interact with all of them.
So, this is our chat, but we want to hear from you as well. What campaigns have been the best for you this last year? What have encouraged you to stay tuned and be a part of it? What has been exciting every time an update comes out? What have you been invested in? Or what did you back blindly and just you're excited when it actually shows up? You're done following it, but you know it'll be in the mail one of these days soon. All right, we're going to try to pull these up as we go through them as well. We'll do a little bit of that dance so we can take a look at the Kickstarter page itself and kind of chat. This will be a little bit of a longer list video because we're going to hang out with you. We're going to just kind of have a conversation.
Time for funsies.
And these are in no particular order. I should have really just put them in order from like when they first launched, like starting at the very beginning of the year, but I didn't.
I didn't do that either.
Yeah, so these are in no particular order. These are just things we wanted to talk about. I'm going to go ahead and pull up one.
Okay.
That was one of the biggest surprises for me.
Okay.
This is coming from Mind Clash Games. And I absolutely fell in love with Septima.
Yeah, this is a great game.
The artwork, the theme, the style is amazing.
Is amazing.
But then on top of that, I really liked the gameplay, and it took a little bit of time to dig into it, but it's slightly more accessible than most of their big box games.
Yep.
While at the same time, I thought it was really tight. It was really thinky.
Yeah, it was a great game.
It was good resource management. And when we did our filmed gameplay, that's where you see me just transform because I'm starting to realize and dials are starting to click, and I enjoyed this so much.
Yeah, this was an absolutely great game, and we played the just flat base game with on camera. But there's extra pieces that go beyond it that make it even more in depth and more fun. And for those of you that don't know, you're witches.
You're a coven of witches. You're trying to help the people in the towns. You're going to be moving around. You're going to be gaining and gathering resources, taking actions at specific buildings, and trying to accomplish whatever various goals.
Yeah, like heal people using potions, basically. But while you're grabbing all those various resources, there are people who are hunting you in the woods, and it's very dangerous, and they can reach you and grab you. And if they catch you, then you end up going into the stocks, and you have to have a trial because it's that time of the eons, I suppose. And as a covenant, you can go in and influence the vote, which is pretty cool, and potentially steal someone else's witch and bring her into your own, which I find very entertaining.
Yeah. So I thought this was not only a beautiful game, it's coming from a company that puts out beautiful games, but I think this might be one of, if not my favorite from Mind Clash. And I like a lot of the titles that they have, but the reason why I think it's challenging, because arguably, Cerebria has the most emotional journey with me.
Fair.
Anachrony, I think, is the best game, period. But when I start thinking about Septima, I have to ask myself the question, what am I likely going to play and enjoy playing? And if Septima gets played 10-1 to Anachrony, it doesn't matter in terms of, for my favorite, it doesn't matter which one is necessarily the best, It matters which one I'm having the best experiences with.
That's very true.
And Septima, I think is going to be right there. It's going to be super great, super deluxified, very pretty. Is this on your list?
It is not.
Not on your list.
No.
Interesting. All right, what am I searching for then?
Let us put in... Okay. You got to put in Dodo's Riding Dinos.
Really?
Really.
Dodo's
and here's why.
Riding.
Because my son and I, we play tons of games together.
Yeah.
If at all possible, we try to play at least 1 or 2 games a week together. And one of the things that he has absolutely loved has been Dodo's Riding Dinos. I can't tell you how many times we played the game. But because there's a new expansion, now I will have different types of things to play with him within the same system that he loves.
This is a ruckus of a game.
It is. And it's not just for kids. Like, it has bright, shiny colors. I get it. This game is ridiculously fun because it brings you a dexterity element to a full board game.
That is the right quote.
Yeah.
It made us laugh
the entire time. It's 100% the case. It's ridiculously fun.
It's like Mario Kart with birds and dinosaurs racing across the battlefield. It's got a Dice Tower seal of excellence.
And you have these cards that you're playing down that can adjust how things work. You can take a stronger movement, but if anybody else takes that same strong action, you lose everything except for the movement. I mean, there's just lots of really unique built-in things that are easy to understand. It's a really fast teach, and the game is stupid fun.
And there's a lot of actual customization to it, with the amount of different dinos that you have to ride, each one with their own unique little ability.
Yep.
The different types of things that you're rolling and scattering across the ground.
Yeah, you've got eggs that you flick. You have a log that you roll. There's an asteroid that comes down and destroys the place. There's a feather that you throw. There's all kinds of different things that are part of this that are just fun and entertaining and unique, and the maps themselves can be different and challenging, and there's different levels of how you even want to play it. There's even a solo mode, which is still stupid fun. It's fun. It's a great game.
So this is one that I backed with my own money.
Oh, yeah.
Septima's one that I backed flat out with my own money.
I backed this with my own
different,
money.
as a content creator, there's a different balance.
Yeah.
There's a balance of, I love that game, and I would like you to send it to me. Mm-hmm. There's the balance of, I love that game, and I can probably get it eventually. Right? We can't just back everything that we interact with.
Oh, man, because that's just way too much money.
And then there's games like Septima. Septima, we don't have a paid relationship with Mindclash Games. We got a chance to cover that. We were very excited about that.
And it's a great game.
And it's a great game.
Yeah.
And I could have sent them an email saying, I love your game, please send me a finished copy once at a time, and we'll do more coverage. But why bother?
Yeah.
It's good enough. I bought it, right? Dodo's is right here. Dodo's, oh my gosh.
It's a fantastic game.
This could have been on my list. This could have been there.
Yeah. It like I said, it's not just a kid's game. This is good. It is a wonderful family fun game.
We need to get this back to the table sometime soon.
I completely agree.
Okay, let me do... I think it is time for possibly one of the best games of the year.
Okay.
If I can spell. Anything.
Okay, so this is also on my list.
This is on your list?
This is on my list.
No, not psychology. Too. I am looking for the board game Unconscious Mind. You want to start talking about it?
Yeah. So Unconscious Mind, we played it. You are one of the people who is working with what's
Freud.
His face? Yeah, Sigmund Freud
Fries.
in Germany, right? And the goal of this particular thing is you are using the patient's mind and their memories and their dreams to diagnose what's wrong with them.
Yeah.
And you're healing them by listening to what they're telling you through their dreams. And then there's different things you do on the board, obviously, that make it even more entertaining, but it was beautifully done. The artwork is amazing. And the game itself is so clean. All of the iconography, there's not a single word on the board, if I remember correctly. There are very few if there are, but all the iconography makes sense. You can see it from across the way, which is one of the difficult things that we have when you're playing a game side by side instead of across the table. Being able to see and understand all the iconography, especially with big expansive games, it always makes an issue. And we didn't realize until the very end of the game that wasn't a problem, and it normally always is.
Yeah.
But it's such a great implementation of a system that is so smooth and easy. There's no way this wouldn't be in my collection, and I 100% back this with my own money for sure.
I'm right here. I went all in. I went all in on everything.
Amazing game.
It was probably the best Euro of the year.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
It was just awesome. And Fantasia Games is just knocking it out of the park with this.
It's so good.
It's going to be deluxeified. It's going to feel really, really great to play. And I was shocked by this. Once we finished the actual recorded gameplay that we did, I immediately wanted to just sit down and play again.
Yeah.
And I think we had to move on the prototype, didn't we?
We did. We had to give it to somebody else, and I was very upset about it. And I will tell you, for a prototype, this was one of the most beautiful prototypes.
I kind of want to send them a message and be like, hey...
Can we just have it back?
Could you please send that back to us once you're finished with it?
Yeah.
We will definitely not blend it. Definitely
we definitely won't blend it. It'll never happen.
We would play it.
Play it multiple times.
What's your next one?
Okay, so because you stole that one, I'm going to go with Unsettled.
Oh, you're stealing one from me now.
Fantastic. Unsettled. Now, to be fair, this is what the second implementation through Kickstarter they did.
This one's the most exciting, though.
It is by far the most exciting. For those of you who don't know, Unsettled, you're exploring different planets throughout the galaxy, and each planet is its own unique adventure. Mm-hmm. Each one comes in a tiny little box, and you have the opportunity to use all the different base game things in the implementation of each of the individual worlds, and each planet is completely unique and different. And that alone is great. I mean, I think the gameplay system is fantastic, even as a cooperative game, which I generally don't agree with and don't enjoy very often. It was a fantastic game. I had so much fun playing it. But what makes this Kickstarter probably the best out of everything I've ever seen is Orange Nebula is going out and taking all the information that the Kickstarter backers said and creating actual worlds based around those. They said, hey guys, what do you want to see? And then we were like, give me this weird thing. And they were like, hey, that's cool. Let's really see what we can come up with. And then they came up with ideas based around our suggestions. And then we continued to help them garner and find new, unique
generating
ways.
Content during the campaign running.
It was insane. I've never seen anything like that in a Kickstarter before. Maybe I'm just a newbie at it, but I've never seen it in that much depth the way that they did there. And that makes me excited to want to continue to be part of that experience, and will make me want to back almost everything that they ever put out in the future when it comes to this particular game.
Orange Nebula is a company that has a perfect track record for me.
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, Vindication, Unsettled,
Yep.
And they have another game coming up in 2023, which is supposed to be like the thing that they exist for.
Really?
Yeah, it's supposed to be big. It's supposed to be the thing that they've always wanted to make, I guess.
That's awesome.
Something like that. I'm very excited about this. Unsettled is here because I do just purely want more modules.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, the new modules that they added, things like the Blackout module, where you're actually repairing a spaceship that's afloat, and your little helpful ally turns into potentially a hostile killing, like lethal murder machine.
It's fantastic.
It's
fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. Okay, Unsettled deserves to be on there.
Yep.
I'm going to... Where do I go from here? I am going to talk about the re-implementation of one of my favorite games. This was on my top 10 of all time.
Yeah.
Which we have not done I didn't do a top 10 of all time this year. Well, I thought about it and I was like, not enough has shifted around. Like, it's not fair. Good if 7 things are the same, then it's not time.
That's fair.
I think when maybe 5, like over 50% has changed,
sure,
we redo it. So potentially next year, as some of these titles start arriving, we're going to be having a new conversation about my official top 10 of all time.
Yeah.
But Tainted Grail, where is it? The Kings of Ruin, over here on GameFound, is a better version of a game that I already loved. This was not... You didn't dig this.
No, I wasn't a fan of the original Tainted Grail because it was so much grindiness, and I'm not a huge fan of the dungeon crawl aspect, even though technically this isn't a dungeon crawl, it's whatever. But the grindy aspect nature, not a big fan of. But this fixed that, and it made the actual gameplay we did. I enjoyed it.
So what this did, what the Kings of Ruin does, is it removes some of the elements that were maybe mechanical bog downs in the original Tainted Grail, some things that people had struggled with. And just gives you more world, gives you more story, lets you play through a little bit more quickly, and is also re-exploring from a I would almost venture to say darker side of the world, a more lethal and corrupted and twisted side of the world. One of my favorite things that they've done is they've made it so that you can actually go through and start exploring elements of the world that are hidden. And there's a benefit and a consequence to that. Whereas in the original, you couldn't go onto tiles that still had the weirdness on them.
Oh, really?
Whereas here, you actually can explore the side of the tile that has weirdness. You just won't always see everything, or you'll see different things.
And ironically, in the playthrough we did, we had to experience things through the weirdness to actually understand the rest of the story, which was really cool.
100%.
Yeah.
And so this is just, it's one of the things that I'm the most excited about. It's one of the things that I'm going to be diving into the second that a official copy comes in, because they just took something that I already loved and scaled it up. And honestly, if I'm going to be straight with the community, with the amount of big campaign games that have came through, Tainted Grail may not have lasted on my top 10 list.
Really?
Except for, it might have been pushed back into the top 20 or something like that, except for the fact that this here may secure its spot.
That's very fair.
This may stabilize it.
Yeah.
What is this?
So, this is a game called Savage. And it is a game, it was a very small published thing. I actually got a chance to experience a very large play of this at Gen Con this year.
Okay.
And I backed this Kickstarter after playing the game because it was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So, you know those
you like weird little indie things.
I do. I love weird little indie things. Now, to be fair, this is a weird little indie thing, and it's a first-time creator, okay? The game itself is based around a system where you have two groups of people who are on teams that are hidden. Okay. So you don't know which team, well, you know which team you're on, and you're assuming you can figure out which team other people are on.
I know which team I'm on.
But there are away parties that have to go through because you're in a you're in a post-apocalyptic scenario, and there are people that have to go out and hunt for things, and you can sabotage the hunt, you can sabotage the feed at the end where you're trying to feed your citizens and civilizations. Someone has to be elected president every time, so that person gets a small advantage to try to not feed someone and end up starving them, or not make them heal when they're sick. So there's lots of different little things that can happen throughout the experience of the game that truly made it fun and unique, and our playthrough that we had was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. If you're a fan of those hidden role style games, you're going to have a great time playing this, and I am ridiculously excited about playing it. And the good news about this, because this is a brand new creator, a lot of times people are like hesitant to buy from a brand new person who's never created anything before. Well, I will tell you, this funded, and it was set for I think April-ish delivery. It is on pace to deliver end of February, beginning of March. So he's wowing us. Like a 6-month delivery time frame is insane.
What do you need to actually play it? How many people?
You can play with as little as 3, I believe. But,
so 4 to 10.
Yeah, so 4 to 10.
Okay.
And he's already got an expansion ready that he has created and thought through, and I've actually talked to him about some different ideas for it.
247 backers.
It's a very small campaign.
Small indie campaign.
Yeah.
I hope some people swing over there and grab this.
It is very
And
fun.
the fact that he's on pace, the fact that he's just pushing through.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's very cool.
It's cool.
It's very cool to see.
I'm excited to check this out. I'm not a big fan of party games. You know that.
I know. It's not a party game,
but well, it's up right up there.
Yeah,
it says it's a great party game.
It says that, but it's not.
I'm not a big fan of lighter social deduction games.
That's fair.
However, if they're done well or done right, if they do something different, I can be sold.
Yeah, I've never experienced a party game, strategy style game like this. It did 2 or 3 different things that I've never seen before.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's very exciting.
Loved it.
Okay, let's talk about maybe one that everyone can predict, but is it on yours?
Maybe.
So we're going to bring over here to Marvel Zombies.
Oh, it's not on mine.
It's not on yours.
It's not on mine.
You don't have Marvel Zombies on yours anymore?
I mean, I backed it. Don't get me wrong. I backed it all in, but I got mad about backing it all in.
Did you?
Yeah.
Actually, because the shipping?
No, I just got mad because I backed it all in.
You spent too much money?
I spent way too much money.
It was like $800, right?
Yeah, and then in addition to that, I didn't pay for the extra shipping because I'm a cheap so-and-so.
Yeah.
And I should have, because now people are getting their copies of Marvel Zombies, and I'm not, because I am just waiting till second shipment because Alex told me not to. It's Alex's fault. That's really what it boils down to.
I mean, I should have everything on the way, and I never do single wave shipping anymore because it frustrates the snot out of me.
Which is why I'm never going to do it either because of this campaign.
But I should have stuff on the way. I still have my giant painted Galactus over here in the side. He is breaking a little bit, not because he's a bad model, because we had to rip him apart to paint him. So he's not as secure as he should be. But I'm insanely excited about this. Sheer and I are going to dive into this. We're going to get so much more coverage out of it.
Excuse me?
What? No, we'll play yours when your copy comes in. Don't worry. So I am.
You are so rude.
I am insanely excited about this. I am very happy with how well it did and how many different characters and creatures we can unlock. CMON's one of those companies that just brings you, if you want a lifestyle game, if you want the biggest, the best, a generation worth of content in a single box, this is it.
Not in a single box, let's be honest. This is like 15
what I mean, though?
boxes.
Like in a single contained game, they do that. And
this is going to be awesome.
This is going to be amazing. I already have the retail copy of it. Sheer and I will hopefully be playing that sometime soon as well.
That's so good of you. I have the retail copy at my house, and I'll play it with my kids, and I won't play it with you.
But no, even when it comes to the changes that the CMON design team made in this game compared to the other classic Marvel Zombies, this feels like it's stepping back into the nature of what I like the most.
Sure.
The biggest disappointment I have, the biggest complaint I had, still to this day, is the heroic traits instead of items. I want items badly.
Sure.
The heroic traits are a little less... It's not as fun to search and rough around for a new personality as it is for a dish plate you can smash over someone's head.
That's fair. That's fair. While staying within the CMON legend, there's very clearly one that I'm extremely excited about.
You did another CMON game instead of Marvel Zombies.
I did both. I already told you I did that one too.
No, you said it wasn't on your list.
No, it is on my list. I didn't put it on my list.
Yeah.
I'm still excited about that, but it's not as excited as the other one.
I know, but I'm saying you have another CMON game other than Marvel Zombies.
I do.
What else came out? Is it? Oh, it's Cthulhu.
Yes.
Cthulhu Death May Die.
It's Cthulhu Death May Die, and here's the reason why. Now, not only is it going to be amazing, and we got a chance to play the prototype, which was phenomenal. I cannot, at that time, I could not find a copy of the first season.
I mean, I had one downstairs.
You do, yeah. But I don't want your copy. I want my own.
I also didn't want to give you my copy. So
also true. And you don't want me to... Because the reason you don't want to give me your copy is because you don't want to open it, because it's in shrink.
It is currently in shrink.
And I want to play all the extras, like the second box thing.
Is this the one, Fear the Unknown? Is this
That's the one, yeah.
Okay.
So that is great. Looking forward to playing that. It's going to be amazing. The real reason I'm excited about it is because it gave us the opportunity to get the first one back. And I know what a lot of you are saying. Well, you can go on CMON's website right now and get it. Well, yeah, you couldn't, okay? It wasn't available until just recently when this Kickstarter launched, so they would reprint all of it and be able to get that, including what's the box that you couldn't get
with the
before?
extras.
Yeah, so that the box with the extras for the very first campaign, the unspeakable box. Yeah, the unspeakable box. You couldn't.
Are you
get
getting
it all.
him?
Absolutely. I literally went all in. I got it all. I don't care. It's stupid. I don't need it, but I want it, and it's going to look real nice in my game room.
It is going to look beautiful in your game room. What was my quote here? For me, this is one of the most sensible dungeon-ish crawlers that stands out and is pretty remarkable. I don't know where they pulled the quote from.
Not sure.
I would have given them a better quote.
Yeah.
Like, buy it now. It's great.
Why aren't you buying it?
Why are you not buying it?
The reason your wallet is not out right now is because why?
Yeah. No, I mean it's been part of my permanent collection. I don't even like the Cthulhu mythos very much, and it's one of those games that breaks that for me.
Yeah, it's not one of my favorite mythoses either. I don't really care about any of the other ones.
So Shira backed this, and I think she backed this all in.
Yeah,
I think so. Knowing her, I'm pretty sure she might have done just the new stuff. She may have done just the new stuff. But knowing her, she is at least very tempted by the idea of getting everything once again. Just the risk of not having something is terrifying to us.
Yep. So I went all in on this because I want to make sure I get everything so that I have all of it.
Yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. Let's go ahead and talk about a surprise hit for me. I've talked about this game a lot, but I think it's worth bringing back because we have the prototype back in hand. You've been able to play this with me now.
Yeah, this was a beautiful game.
And I just enjoyed this. I've enjoyed this game so much, and I didn't think I would from the get-go. But this is Earth. Earth is a generous, beautiful game that gives you all of the resources your heart could desire as you're playing down tons and tons of different nature cards, building out your tableau, triggering a chain effect of engines.
Yeah.
This is Terraforming Mars.
No, it's not.
No. This is Terraforming Mars if the economy was healthy.
Yes.
That's what it is. It's
That's
tableau
fair.
building. It's card play. It's resource management, but it's resource management and card play where every decision is just rewarding you.
Yeah.
And it does one of the things that I find that I like the most in a board game. When another player is taking their turn and taking their action, it matters to you because you get a side or bonus action.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
It keeps engagement going.
Ever design a board game, any board game designed by Quackalope will have a mechanic where you reward other people or you interact with other people on your turn.
Yes.
They need incentive to be involved.
Yep.
And this does that.
This game was so much fun.
Yeah.
And it was easy. And like the teach was quick. It was intuitive, but there was tons of strategy involved with it.
Yeah.
Like understanding at surface level, very simple. Getting and understanding the mechanics and the quirks and the fun features of it, there is tons of depth inside of it.
Yeah.
Really.
I'd love to circle back through and play this again. Do more coverage of this. Like, I want to do more solo content on this because I enjoyed the solo module.
Yeah.
This is one of those that I would find excuses to do coverage on the channel for. Localization partners. So Lucky Duck's localizing it. It looks over in Europe. Very nice. Very nice. It's good because it's good.
Yeah.
Deserves to go everywhere.
It's
I think this
fantastic.
is one of their evergreens. I think it's got to be.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, let's see if I can find this one. It's going to be entertaining.
SteepleChase Kickstarter. What is SteepleChase?
So you remember you said I can choose anything that I want, right?
I said this list should be composed of the your favorite, the things you're the most excited about, the stuff you're passionate about.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to a beautiful game called SteepleChase.
This has 26 backers.
It does. It does. It absolutely.
You're one of them?
I am one of those 26 backers.
What is this?
Let me tell you why.
What in the world? There's no video here.
There's absolutely no video.
Okay.
And this is, I think, the second run of this particular game. It could be
This is
more.
the 10th anniversary.
The 10th
of
anniversary
SteepleChase.
edition of
Love
SteepleChase.
that. I love that.
Okay. And this is a handmade game. So, in other words, there are only, 26? 26 of these in existence.
Friedman Freese, bluffing, outguessing at its best. Do you know who Friedman Freese is?
I don't.
He's like a major designer.
Yeah?
That's a cool quote from him.
So there we go.
All right.
But this game, again, know absolutely nothing about it. It has something to do with horse racing. There's some beautiful wooden mechanic pieces that go with it. There's a stable at one point. There's something that goes in the center of it. I literally backed this because I thought it looked really cool, and it was an interesting indie concept.
This is the first picture I've came across.
Besides the very beginning, yeah. Yeah, this was a terrible Kickstarter. No offense to whomever SteepleChase is running this. This is not a very pretty Kickstarter, and I don't think he cared to, because he literally has to make these by hand. So he doesn't want to have 50,000 of them, because he can't literally make that many of them. It's just too much.
He just wants his game to exist.
Yeah, so he's making this game, and the best part about this game, Jesse doesn't have one.
It's bugging me, actually.
I know.
It's bugging me. Can I late back?
You can't.
I can't late back at all?
Nope.
Like, what'd you go in for?
Oh, I went all in. I had it customized as well.
Did you?
I did.
Pledge 80 or more? What's that got?
Yeah.
What did that get you?
Hold on, I'll tell you exactly. Let me pull it up on my actual Kickstarter, and I'll pull it up and tell you exactly what it is, because this literally the reason I did.
It has
here,
7
just so people
pictures.
can see. There it is. There's my Kickstarter. Okay, I backed this. View my pledge. Okay. 109 pounds I paid for this game, okay? 109 pounds. That doesn't include, shipping is included, yeah, $23. Okay, what did I get? I got SteepleChase, the original game. I got the extra enclosure. I got the scoring track upgrade. I got the trackside bookie upgrade, okay? I got the stable. I got the starting points to the post. I got the water jump and the felt-lined main box. I got everything you could possibly get in this game.
Well, I'll be a horse. Tie me up and saddle me.
I can't wait to play it. I have no idea what it plays like, but I can't wait to play it.
Gavin Birnbaum, listen to me. I want in.
Understand
Gavin.
this.
No, Gavin. Listen, Gavin.
I got this game so he can't have one.
Gavin.
And then I can bring it here and be like, hey,
Stop it.
Jesse,
No,
look at how
stop it.
great this game is.
Gavin Birnbaum, listen to me. Send me a message, quackalope@gmail.com or jesse@quackalope.com. I want in. Mm-hmm. I want in. You let me know, buddy, what it takes to get through your door.
The great part is I will continue to do coverage on this channel just because
Here's the
you
funny
don't
thing.
have one.
Here's the funny thing. If you like this game,
Oh, yeah. He's going to get...
if you like this game, he will have to relaunch.
Yes, he will.
If
will.
he wants more than 26 people to get it. Because if you like the game, more than 26 people from our own community will be asking
like,
for it.
hey, how can I get this game?
Already there's
probably at least
seven of us out there that are going,
hey, why I want this game.
Wes paid $108 for it. I feel like
Pounds.
Wes paid $120 for it.
Yeah. Again, I can't wait to play it. I think mine is actually being produced sometime in January, so I should have it hopefully by the end of January, beginning of February. I will definitely bring it here and play it in front of Jesse with Shira.
That's amazing. That is awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to one of the most impressive campaigns I have seen. Let's see here. Moonrakers, the board game.
This is also on my list.
And where is the Kickstarter? So we're going to be talking about Moonrakers Titan.
Yeah.
Titan is the big box. Titan is also 3 brand new expansions for the core game Moonrakers. Now, for the record, we love Ivy Studios. We work with Ivy Studios on a ton of things.
Yeah.
And yet, this should be on anyone's list. And I'll tell you the 3 reasons why this is one of the most, if not the most impressive Kickstarter campaigns this last year. First off, they're adding expansions to a game based off of what the community has asked for. All 3 expansions can be integrated together or individually. You don't have to buy them all if you're not looking for them all. But on top of that, each one fixes a core part of the game. One provides more cards, one provides more interaction, and one specifically provides
additional resources.
One provides more story, one provides more cards, one provides more interaction.
Yeah.
When you mix them all together, this goes from being a really solid 4 out of 5 to a brilliant 5 out of 5 game. And they're taking their first game they ever designed and upping it to that stage.
Yeah, and making it better.
Stage 2, why this is one of the most impressive Kickstarter campaigns I have ever seen, is the release of Luminor about a week or 2 before this actually existed.
Yeah.
Luminor was a handmade digital expansion that was free to every single person that already owned Moonrakers. This turns their game into a cooperative deck-building narrative game where you play through an AI-driven enemy system, a flight galaxy system on the computer. It is one of the cleanest, best apps I have ever seen in the board game space, and they did it completely at cost, completely by hand, as a passion project to provide extra value to the community that they had. Insane. And the final reason why this is right up there at the top of everything is during the course of the entire campaign, as they raised funds, as they broke records for their company, they started unlocking cards that the community voted on, and the community got to choose between holographic X, holographic A, or B, and they X'd out the one that didn't get picked. Until they're at the point now where every single core box and every single expansion, every card that they had available with the binary choice to be holified has been holified.
Yeah.
They continue to upgrading their game every step of the way. And when you know anything about Moonrakers, you know anything about the quality of stuff they put out, it's already going to be incredible. Yeah. And they are just putting so much effort and so much work into a masterpiece of a game. I mean, look at this. These are all the things that are going to be holified.
That's just insane.
It's incredible. It's genuinely incredible.
I think this is one of the first games that I played with you, and you, or at least one of the first 3 or 4. And you said, Wes, I think you're going to really like this game, and I did.
Yeah,
I absolutely loved it, and it had already gone through the Kickstarter iteration at that point, right? And so then I just kept waiting for it to come out again, and I was going to buy just the retail version, but then I said, no, wait, I'll just wait for the Kickstarter to come out. And as soon as the Kickstarter came out, I all-ined on that as well.
Yep. Yeah. This is just brilliant. This is just a great game. Hats off to the team over there at Ivy Studios for the work they're doing in the community they're building. I'm really thankful that I get to be a part of that.
For sure.
Cool. What's next?
Final Girl.
All right, I'll check it off my list as well.
Yeah.
Final Girl Season 2.
So here's an interesting thing for me. When I first started getting into the Kickstarter side of the hobby, I had an opportunity to back this, and but I wasn't really into solo games at that point.
I remember meeting, I believe, AJ at a convention, playing a prototype. I had like 1,000 subscribers at the time, playing a original prototype of Final Girl, and I literally like begged him to send me a copy, to let me be involved, to let me cover this little masterpiece.
I was thinking to myself, why am I going to want to play a board game by myself? Little did I know, I love playing solo board games. They're fantastic. I was in the situation of
Too Many Bones should have taught you that.
Yeah, that's true too. But I was under the impression that I had the most fun playing board games with other people, and I had like 2 or 3 different board game groups.
And then you
going
met me, and you realized
I only like playing board games with you.
No, alone.
Well, that too. But I do really enjoy playing board games alone. But I didn't back this product because I thought, it's a solo board game. It'll have limited playability for me. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Hugely wrong. This game is amazing, and I kicked myself constantly for not backing it, and almost picked it up at one of the cons. But then I heard that there was going to be a second printing, and they were going to do a wave 2, and I thought, oh well, I'll just back it then. So I did 100%. I even backed it so hard I bought extra mats by accident. So
I've never heard. I backed it so hard. Extra random stuff.
Pieces.
What have I done that for? I did that for Chip Theory.
Yeah.
With Too Many Bones. One of the waves of that, I had extra health chips just randomly show up.
Just because, yeah.
What else? There's definitely a few things out there.
I backed Perseverance and got extra dinosaurs because I wanted to make sure I had those dinosaurs. Because they're so big and cool.
Cerebria from Mind Clash.
Yeah.
I backed the core box painted.
Okay.
And then ended up just adding on all the extra add-ons, which gave me an unpainted set of the minis as well.
Nice. That's awesome.
I backed it so hard.
So hard.
Extra stuff showed up.
Yeah. I can't say enough wonderful things about Final Girl. It really is an amazing game, and it looks beautiful. This new iteration where you're able to slide all the individual boxes into a bigger box where you've got the VCR on top. It just really harkens back to my childhood with VCRs and tapes. That is amazing. I love what they're doing with the story narrative and the ways you're able to individually pick different bad guys to fight, and you have your individual final girls to choose with different locations. The replayability overall is just absolutely amazing. So excited to have that come to my house so that I can continue to play it. My Wave 1's already showed up. I can't wait for Wave 2.
Okay. This one, I don't think this one's going to be on yours. I don't remember if you got a chance to play this or not.
Oh, I can think of many games that I've not had a chance to play because you purposely played them with someone else.
Strong preference to not play with you.
I have literally played this game with you on camera.
Did you?
There is a video of us playing this game together.
Oh, yeah. So, Soul.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm Soul Syrian Quell. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, Soul.
I didn't remember if it was you that I played this with or other friends.
You don't have other friends. But that's okay. I love you anyway. You just have Shira and me. That's it. We've gotten rid of all the other ones.
You're not too wrong. Forsaken by Game Trays. This was really good.
This was
really good. This is a sandbox game that doesn't just have pick up and deliver mechanics. It's a sandbox game with a ton of narrative story, a ton of through lines, a ton of crazy, unlocking, weird, twisted, ambient stuff. I had such a great time diving into this. Mm-hmm. I make joke references to the Saul. Like every week or two, we'll be doing something, and I'll just be like, Saul, because it was just so fun and so funny, and that's what this stands out to me. And then on top of that, this is coming from Game Trays, which means the production quality, the things popping out and setting on the table ability of it. This is going to be one of those games. It was the first game they put out. I think they raised like $500,000 or something like that, which is really good. But this is going to be one of those games that arrives to people. They are so enthralled and impressed by the production quality and the overall gameplay of it.
Yep.
That it is immediately going to demand a reprint, maybe a mini or a larger expansion if they have it in the works already.
Yeah.
This is going to be one that people are going to be really, really, really pleasantly surprised by, and regretful if they didn't back it.
Yeah, I agree. This was a really fun game.
Yeah, it was excellent. They literally, if you look at game trays and their history, they made Eclipse, they made the Terrarion insert, they made the Flamecraft insert, they made the Vindication insert, they made the Dwellings of Elderville insert. All of the inserts that you think of when you think of some of the best in the space, Game Trays has produced. Right there. This should be your last one and my last one, right?
Nope, I've got 2.
You've got 2, okay.
Yeah, so, I've got 2. So we're going to
I have 2 left too. I have 2 left as well. Yeah, that's right. I've got 2.
Okay, good.
What are you talking about? Star Realms.
Mm-hmm.
Star Realms. This is the legacy game.
That's correct.
This was great.
This was fantastic.
We were both upset we did not have the rest of it to play.
Yeah,
I remember we spent about 10 minutes at the end of that video just yelling at Wise Wizard Games for saying, hey,
more.
Why didn't you give us the whole thing? Mm-hmm. We literally might never forgive you because we are bonding.
Yeah, this was a great game. Star Realms is already one of the few deck builders that I really, 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 really enjoy. I will say that the vast majority of the time when I'm going through things and I see it's just a card game, quote unquote, don't at me right now, okay? There's great card games out there.
Where are they going to at you?
In the comments below. People at me all the time with that stuff.
At West Todd?
Yep, exactly. Yeah. They're going to at me in the comments below. This card game's great. This card game's great. Okay, I get it. Your card games are wonderful.
We'll ban you.
Yeah. I generally don't like deck builders. It's not something that makes me excited. However, this was fantastic, and I love Star Realms. I play it constantly. It's one of my
already a fan of Star Realms.
Already a big fan of Star Realms.
So you were excited about this, but it was competing with the thing that you already liked in a weird way.
Yeah, it was. It was. And the fact that it was a legacy game added on to that, where you get to basically take the cards that come through from different factions, new factions that aren't part of the original game, and you get to create halfies cards. So you take that faction that's the new faction and then you blend it with the current faction that's already part of the original set. So that makes the playability of that even more entertaining and more interesting. So it really changed the way that Star Realms plays, and I really, really loved that. The
legacy element of this, the adding the stickers, the drafting from the deck, and the fact that they actually provided you every variation you needed to not have it be a never play again legacy style game.
It's a forever playable legacy game because instead of stickering something, if you don't want to go that direction, they literally have every single variant of cards that could possibly be, and you can just take that out and then use that card instead of having to destroy the original set.
You can see that right here. That's the example.
It's so good.
Infinity Kit has 8 upgrade diggers, 2 of each of the 4 different upgrades.
Yeah, it's such an interesting way to come across that without having to worry about it. And because it's a deck building game with just cards, you're able to afford doing that. Even though it was a little bit expensive, not going to lie, you had the ability to replay it forever. So, super great.
I should have that on my list because that was a blast.
You should have purchased it.
Play through. I did purchase it.
Yeah, but you should have purchased it for me because I won. And that was our deal. Whoever won, the other person had to buy it for them.
And then about a month later, I hired West full-time as the company, so I suppose I did.
Technically.
I suppose you technically
did, yeah.
West. You're welcome.
Technically, we tied for the record.
Did we tie?
We did really tie.
Oh, you son of a gun. You were about to trick me, weren't you?
I was going to guess.
I was going to feel good and go and do it for you. And be like, West, I did it. I bought it for you. Thanks, buddy.
Oh, such a great game.
Okay, my second to last, and then we'll talk about the best.
I have one more.
Yeah. Then we'll talk about my best.
Sure.
Second to last. Dark Quarter.
This game was nuts.
Dark Quarter. I played through this. This is another prototype that I played through, I believe, 3 whole times on its own, which is, it's just a single scenario prototype. You did not need 3 full plays to know how to play this game.
Definitely.
I did it because I wanted the experience of the play. This is a dark, twisted combination of 2 of the best publishers out there. Lucky Duck Games, who is known for, right now, their app integration into board games.
Yeah.
They do the best in our industry, and whether or not that's for you, you should still try their stuff, because they really are starting to change the way that people interact with board games in really, really important ways.
Yeah.
It's built off of their Destiny system, and then paired with Van Ryder Games, who we've already mentioned with Final Girl, who does some of the best...
story building.
Some of the best world and dark-themed story building.
Yeah.
Right, so Van Ryder has Detective City of Angels, which is one of the best, I think, the best detective game out there on the market. And it requires a DM to run,
right?
Which is the cool part because you can actually interact with the DM like you're searching for hidden clues. And then obviously they have Final Girl, which is dark and twisted in its own way, and they did all the writing, all the lore building of this. This is the Dark Quarter, which is
in New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans for those who are out there. And you're basically kind of like a detective working for an outside the police agency, using your special ability.
You could be a vampire. You could be a someone that wields magic. You could just be a raging alcoholic
who is an alcoholic because if he's not drunk, he literally sees ghosts.
Yeah.
The concept of the game is amazing, but what really stood out to me, not only was the game good, was the storytelling great, was the concept and the mechanic part good. The interesting part to me was that you could follow your story as well. So you're trying to solve this problem, but then all these clues keep popping up over here talking about what's going on with you. Why are you the way that you are? What happened in your life that made you different and weird?
Yeah.
Oh, let me find out. So you could start literally saying, oh yeah, I know that person died. We're supposed to figure it out. But actually, I'm more interested in this. And you could follow down the rabbit hole of that story, which was just awesome.
I really liked this. I liked this more than I like Destiny's. I like this more than I like a lot of things, and it's largely because of how good that storytelling is.
Yeah,
that's a big part of it for me.
Yep.
But yeah,
this is a great game.
I was just so there. Okay, what is your last one?
This one's on GameFound.
The best of them all?
Queen's Dilemma.
Ooh.
So I love legacy games.
I still need to play through King's Dilemma.
You do.
I've
played through.
I have a copy.
So I created.
Horrible Guild sent me a copy.
Did they really?
One. Yeah, well, I have one ready to play.
It's right over there.
It's
on
literally
the
right over here. I have not been able to get a group together for a pocket of time to dive into it.
So I created one of my game groups on purpose to play legacy games. So this was
on
the.
GameFound. This is on Kickstarter.
I thought it was on GameFound.
You're a liar.
I swear it was on GameFound.
Nope. Queen's Dilemma?
Oh, it must be because it went to GameFound to pay the final stuff. Maybe that
happens quite often. Yeah.
All right. So anyway, I played all of King's Dilemma. I loved it. The concept of King's Dilemma was fantastic. There was a little bit at the end where it was a little squirrely with how the cards played through. There was one of the issues that I had with it was how the system worked so that you could make a choice in one era and then you may not see the repercussions from that choice for like 2 or 3 different generations.
So the group that I played it with when it first came in, we only played a few of the first sessions. We thought the story was really, really compelling, but felt like the agency of the players was limited. You really should play your role for the game to progress forward. Correct. And you were saying that those extended consequences are the thing that starts to make the game shine.
100%.
Which we never got to see.
Yeah,
right?
so the very first 3 or 4 different ones, it's already like a loaded deck, basically, and it makes you do what you're supposed to do. The consequences of the choices that you make, playing the role and trying to go for the points, winning with your varied kingdom and the family that you represent, do start really making a difference towards the end of the game. And I played with a group who was very much into, I'm playing the character that I am. So, knowing them in person, totally different than the person they were actually playing in the game. So it was really, really fun. And I'm hopeful that the Queen's Dilemma will continue to give me that and will also fix some of the things that they noticed in the original game, and they were hopeful to fix some of those in the Queen's Dilemma, which I think is really cool, so I'm very excited to get a chance to play that.
It's cool. Hey, I'm excited to play it with you, because there's no way you're having any other friends do it.
So I got rid of all yours, you got rid of all mine. So glad that worked out.
The best board game Kickstarter of the year, though, is Brandon Sanderson's...
Oh, are you kidding?
Kickstarter.
You didn't back?
I did back this.
Which one?
This is his books.
Oh.
I didn't back them.
It's not even a game.
What?
This doesn't count.
It's been playing with my heart for months now.
What?
I wanted to be a part of something. So I backed Brandon Sanderson's 4 surprise secret novels. He wrote, over the pandemic, 4 surprise novels. Ooh. And then just dropped them and made the biggest Kickstarter that has ever existed. $41 million raised.
Right.
I backed this. I backed it with the loot box. Like, I'm all in.
Okay.
I put $500 into a thing that was happening, not because I'd ever read a single word of his book.
Right.
But because I wanted to be part of it.
So this is your lifestyle.
No. Well, kind of. Yeah.
You almost backed like $800 in on miniatures for this book series that didn't
but
Kingdom
Death is my lifestyle.
That's fair.
This
is close.
I didn't do the miniatures. I didn't actually do the miniatures.
You didn't.
I couldn't justify them.
Because we did our Worth It Wednesday.
We did do a Worth It Wednesday.
If we hadn't done that, you'd have been all in.
I was already all in before we did that. I backed this. Now, the fun thing is, you see these loot boxes?
Uh-huh.
I am going to be able to, as they start arriving, do Thirsty Thursdays just on every single one of those. Because it's going to be the biggest joy I get.
That's fair.
I, since backing this, since wanting to be part of something, which is, that's my personality.
Agreed.
He has no pictures on here. He really shared no information about this.
The Steeplechase Kickstarter was a little better than that.
There you go. There's the four books, and they're just titled Secret Project. Perfect. I backed this, and then after it was already closed, started picking up and reading Brandon Sanderson novels because I needed to be able to understand what these books are, because these books are part of the existing world.
Are they really?
So
you literally backed it with no information about what was going on.
And I needed to catch up so that I could understand what these books are even about, right? The words in them would not translate.
It's so good.
Since then, I have finished, the first time in probably 10 years or so, I have finished multiple 1,000-page books. I'm on book 3 of the Stormlight Archives. I love it. I've read through Elantris. I read through the Emperor's Soul. I read through all of the Reckoner's books, except for the last one. I got halfway through it, and then I was bored.
There's also the Reckoner's board game downstairs that you haven't played yet either.
No, I have played it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, with Alex. Remember, I like playing games and not opening
them. That's right.
I need to try it again.
Because you weren't a big fan?
I didn't think it did the books well.
So that ruined the game for you.
I didn't. I think it's probably a good game. I think it did the books really badly. I think it's not what the Reckoner's books are. Okay. And that makes me hurt.
All right, fair.
Either way, we'll have a conversation about that later, maybe on a Flocking Friday one day. If there's ever an IP, like if I was ever going to get control of an IP to just design games for, or oh man, Brandon Sanderson, if there's any company out there that gets like the rights to produce a Stormlight Archive board game, let me know. I will leverage my entire community. Although I guess it doesn't matter because his community's already there.
It's probably bigger than ours anyway.
It's so good though. His stuff's amazing. I even bought tickets to the convention, but I was flown to Manchester to cover Elden Ring the same week of the convention, and it was a conflict for me.
Yeah,
I did go.
You were burned up inside. I remember he actually offered me the tickets. He was like, "Hey Wes, do you want to go to this thing so we can cover it?" I'm like, "Well, what is it?" He's like, "Well, it's a Brandon Sanderson convention. Like, are the board games and stuff?" More books and him talking about things.
That.
Oh. No, not really.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, this is the best Kickstarter of the year. It's not only the highest funded Kickstarter of all time, it brought so many people into our hobby space. It also has reintroduced me to a world of reading and a world of storytelling that I just hadn't done for a long time. I'd listened to a lot of audiobooks, but very rarely do I take the time to sit down and read a physical thing. And I find that has such a positive impact on me emotionally. I love journeying through the stories. Helps my vocabulary to be stronger. I can really pronounce everything very well. And so I am grateful for that. I'm grateful for the Brandon Sandersons.
Thank you, Brandon Sanderson.
That's the real message of this entire series.
Really what it is.
Let's just we would like to say very humbly,
thank you, Brandon Sanderson.